A mountain of flutes. I am in Makassar, visiting Khairuddin Uddin, a professional Suling flute maker. I want to learn how these bamboo flutes are produced and what is important for a good sounding flute. He tells me that not only the size of the bamboo is important, but also the mouthpiece which produces the sound.
About the size.
Okay.
Yes, and
In his factory, he shows me how to produce such a mouthpiece and how to attach it to the flute. Meanwhile, he tells me that due to the climate change, it is getting more and more difficult to find the right sort of bamboo, as the bamboo for flute needs wind protection from the mountains and also a good water quality to grow, which is becoming rare in Sulawesi. After finishing my ordered flute, he gives a little concert in his living room. And afterwards, he plays the song Atiraja, which everybody seems to know and sing along. In the Toraja region, I am meeting with Mr. Kamal, who is also a flute player. After chasing away the barking dogs, we sit down under the beautiful Tongkonan houses, on which I will come back later. He plays a Suling lembang, which is a bit bigger than the flutes in Makassar and mostly getting used during the famous funeral ceremonies. He performs several pieces for me, but it is hard for me to distinguish between the start or the end of the songs, as he never stops playing and also doesn't introduce these songs. Normally, Suling players use the technique of circular breathing for a sound that never stops. But Mr. Kammer is breathing in between a lot. I am not sure if this is his style or if he doesn't know how to do the circular breathing. Anyway, to make things more easy for me, he agrees on singing the lullaby he played on the flute with words, so that I can recognize it. And there I find the same stops like in his flute playing. He tells me later that the lembang flute is kind of sacred and normally not played just for fun. The same applies to a quite similar flute in the region of Palu. Here up in the mountains, the Kaili people also know a sacred flute called lalove. It is normally only used for healing ceremonies, So I'm very lucky to meet Mr. Ocho Pedati, a young player who agrees on doing some recordings outside. The music he performs is normally only heard during ceremonies. I am fascinated by his finger technique. When I tried to play my own Lalove flute later, I found it quite challenging to close the holes properly this way. So, if a flute like this is sacred, and it is normally forbidden to be played without reason, how do you practice? We get the answer later when his nephew joins the playing. It always works like this. If you want to learn how to play the flute, you have to watch your master for many times. Then one day, when you know all the songs by heart already, comes the big day, and, of course only during a ceremony, your master allows you to play along for the first time. You never had a flute in your hand, but you watched your teacher 100 times, so you can make your first steps. And if you miss a note, your teacher will lead you, and hopefully no one will notice. This is why at most ceremonies the flutes are performed by two people, master and student. The Kaili people also know a smaller black flute called mbasing. It is part of a very special ensemble which we were about to meet in a village called Taripa, somewhere in the mountains around Palu. The name of the ensemble is Dade'ndate, which translates freely as singing over there. Well, over there is absolutely right, as we walk with the ensemble right into the jungle, while they simply spread out a mat to sit down for the performance. The ensemble consists of a mbasing flute, a kechapi boat flute, and a female singer. Like always, the first song is a greeting song expressing their gratitude for the foreigners to come such a long way in order to listen. Again, the lyrics are made up spontaneously. But as we don't understand the Kaili dialect, only our translator was laughing about the jokes. Other songs followed, including love songs, and again funny songs with made-up lyrics. After the recording, we got a kind of lesson with the instruments. Learning the flute was not a problem, but following the melodic lines on the kechapi was not so easy. There is no step by step. You have to imitate and try to follow. In an interview, the ensemble leader stated that the future of this ensemble is uncertain. They are the last Ndate ensemble, and people do not order them anymore for concerts as they cannot afford ensembles anymore. Younger people don't know much about this music tradition, and they are not willing to learn the musical skills. So maybe this ensemble tradition will also get lost in the future.
Mampu ke Jakarta sana itu. Alhamdulillah.
Passing over my kecapi to the flute player, they already started a new song, and the singer joined in. So we totally forgot about the time and enjoyed the music until the sun went down.